Good evening. This is not my first visit to Coburg. I've been to Coburg before, so this is my second visit. We came here along with Professor Vito to attend a conference. I think it was actually something with international business. And at that time, I did not know that I would come back to Coburg again. So thank you for the opportunity to address all of you. My compliments to your dean, Mr. Tsiana, for holding a position of great responsibility. And I said to her that with great responsibility comes great power, or is it the other way around? You're all Spider-Man fans, I hope. But it's very nice to see a woman of substance who is holding a post which takes a lot of responsibility to finish the tasks that have been given to them. I want to compliment Professor Vito Bobek, who is my Salzburg Fellow from about 20 years ago. And so he's been very kind enough to invite me for talks at the University of Maribor and at Ljubljana. And I think that this is exactly the kind of open dialogue and open discussion that is required. You know, it comes along with a lot of sense and sensibility and sensitivity. So thank you very much. I bring you greetings from New Delhi. As you know, India is 1/4 of the world's population. We are 1.4 billion people. That's a lot of people. The women in India are 500 million, which means that women in India are double the population of the United States. That's how big the volume is. And Indian women are 8% of the global population. Okay, those are not small numbers. There are many countries that are not even 1% of the global population. So as 8% of the world population, we have a huge power base. Now it's up to us to use it or not use it. The other thing, I was just telling one of my colleagues that, 2 million in Slovenia is like my neighborhood where I stay. And my city has 14 million people alone in Delhi. So when you look at volumes like this, your opportunity is either to create it into a resource or to look at it as a problem. So in the last 50 years, I think India has done a tremendous job in using all of these people as a talent pool. We are the largest IT producer in the world. We are the largest ITES, which means IT-enabled services, the Tata Consultancy Group. 21% of all the startups are in India, in IT. So I'm just saying, we managed to use it as a pool rather than look at it as a problem. And that's a lot for a country which is a democracy. We are not a totalitarian state. We choose our leaders. We have robust parliament. We have many problems, but we just get on with our job. So that is my introduction to you for India, just a short one. And our topic today is on branding. So, the first thing I will say is that photograph, where do you go? That photograph is about, I think when I started with forums, it could have been 15 years ago. So one has to constantly see, what was your brand 15 years ago, and today are you still looking the image that you want to project to everybody else. So I have to compliment myself that I'm still capable of projecting after 15 years the energy with which I started the Forum for Women Leadership. So since this is about branding, the first thing you need to do is you always need to look your best. Now, best doesn't mean you always have to have the right clothes or the right jewelry. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the energy with which you are touching other people. Branding is never about you. Branding is about how you make somebody feel. That doesn't mean you have to be good to somebody. It just means how you make somebody feel, how you touch their aura. Everybody has an aura, you know that, right? Besides being an economist, I'm also a spiritual type. So everybody has an aura. And this aura is either can be strong, can be weak, but branding at the end of the day is not about what you read. It's about how you touch somebody's aura. So the branding has to come from within first. It's very nice to get a PR company, it's very nice to get a vendor, it's very nice to get a PR agent, but at the end of the day, if your energy is not coming from within, you cannot make any impact on anybody. So let us keep that as the most important thing for today's program. The energy that you get from within. And that applies to your product. It's not just about branding yourself. But if you can't brand yourself, what are you going to do about your product or your service? Shall we? All right. So why is branding important? Why do you need to brand anybody? You need to brand yourself because perception is reality. All right? You can keep on saying what you want, but until somebody understands what you want, it's not correct. So let us say I enter the room. The first thing you will all do is make value judgments about me. You will perceive something about me. It could be anything. Oh, she's so businesslike. Oh, she looks so feminine. Whatever it may be. Oh, you will make some perception as soon as I enter the room without knowing who I am. But perception is reality. And until you get up and say, this is not correct, this is how I am, nobody will know. So whether you're branding yourself or you're branding a good or a commodity, people will see it, and until you say something about it, especially about yourself, they will put you in a bucket, whichever bucket it may be, right? Oh, whatever it may be, oh, he's like that. So it's very important, especially for women, to get up and speak. Say something, say anything that will crack the perception. Otherwise, the perception will remain the reality. The second thing is that people decide very quickly what you or the company is capable on the first impression. And it's very difficult to change it later on. So that is why I keep telling all the women, can you please speak up? Can you please step up? Can you please say something? Otherwise, everybody will think you don't know anything, or you're too shy, or you're incapable of saying something, or you'll never make it to the top. We have to crack that code. And these judgments will often influence your brand and your ability to influence people. Okay? If you can't influence somebody, then you're not doing anything to enhance yourself or your brand. So I think that whenever I give talks, or I have 1,000 mentees, that's not 100, so I have 1,000 mentees from leading companies, Cummins, Sodexo, Robert Bosch, Microsoft, Amazon. They're all our mentees, and paid mentees. We do this program. It takes me 2 days first to talk to people about the brand. And if you translate this brand into, just dissect it one step below, the brand is actually your executive presence. How do you present yourself? How do you present your brand? Who are you? I made this very fast, this PowerPoint, but actually this is followed by another slide, which is called, who am I? You can only talk about yourself if you know who you are. Who are you? Who are you? Anybody? Who am I? Do you know yourself? If I get up, the first thing I say is, I'm an economist. So that everybody puts me in the economics bucket. Okay? They think, oh, she's tough. She knows numbers. Don't mess around with her. I don't want them to put me in any other bucket except economist first. Because, my tendency, oh, she knows her numbers, don't mess around with her. You know how economics is supposed to be a very tough subject, no nonsense, hard to get in, hard to pass. Then I might say something else about myself. And it works for me. So anybody would like to, you can say I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, but what and who am I? Who am I? Who are you? I want to say one sentence, who am I?
I'm a brother of twins.
I'm a father of twins.
Brother.
You're a brother of twins. Is that who you are? Is that what defines you today? Is that how you think it defines you today? It's a question. So suppose I asked you to put up a slide. 200 people who you don't know. You don't know them. Like I don't know who you all are. Suppose I asked you to put up a slide and say, who am I? Would that be the first thing you would put? It's just a question.
I'm going to say so.
What would you put? Suppose I said, put up a slide, who am I?
I would put
How are you?
Name.
I would start, do you want to change it?
Yes,
You can.
I would put my hobby.
Your hobby?
Yes.
What is it?
I'm a DJ.
You're a DJ. So who am I? I'm a DJ. So you think DJ defines you. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Now DJ has its own perception.
Yes.
DJ is a specific kind of person. And that's the branding you want for yourself. The lady in blue,
The name.
by your name.
Yeah.
So who am I is your name. On the slide, the first thing you write is your name.
Probably, yeah.
Why? Just a question. Who am I? I'm Miss or Professor Tatsara. You would write your name?
Yes.
Why? What's in the name? I know there's a lot in the name, but it's just a question.
It's like the first, the link between me and the outer world.
Is the name?
Yeah, that's right.
You have 7 incarnations in this world. You will come back to the world 7 times. And your name will not be the same in all the 7 incarnations. So watch out sticking with your name. You have, I don't know which incarnation you're in, but your name will always change.
Yeah,
And you have to think, you gotta think long term, all right? Gotta think long term. In spirituality, you gotta think long term. I got 7 incarnations. Do I want the name to be the same? Yes, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, be careful what you say and how you say, who am I? Anyone else? Who am I? Who am I?
I like to answer that question with I'm me, but it doesn't really give peace.
No. So you just help some. So we're talking business here, right? We're not doing business. We're not doing a yoga session. We're doing business. So suppose you came into a business conference and you put up a slide. Who am I?
Something like I'm a really creative person. Something that they teach
One line.
me.
One line.
Oh, okay. I'm creative.
I'm teaching you perception is reality. They won't ask you. They're not going to ask you anything. I'm saying that once we made a perception and value judgment from you, after that they will get up, you will get up and say, no, I'm actually this. So you say, I'm a creative person. Why don't you say, I'm a master of creativity?
I haven't done enough for that. I thought.
That's what you think. How do you know?
I can compare only to other people that
Benchmark
do
yourself.
something in the same field.
Okay, so I'm a learner of creativity?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Very good. So this is what I'm trying to say, is that if you do not recognize who you are, you can't explain to anybody what is your brand. Now, under that you can write many other things. I can say I'm a lecturer, I'm the founder of the WILL Forum, I'm the chairman of so-and-so, I'm a board director. There are many things you can say in who am I. But please be clear as to who you are, and only then you will be able to say what exactly is the perception you want people to actually have. Once they give you a chance. You may never get a chance. Nobody may ask you who you are. But there is no branding until you know who you are. And that is why mindfulness has become such an important thing to me. I don't like the word mindfulness. I think you have to connect with your inner self. It's called power of self. I'm into power. I like words like power because they empower you. Others, they empower you. So if you use words like power, then it's very good. You need to first connect with your own power in order to brand yourself. It's important. So, now, let me try. So, the ability to judge a brand and influence depends on two things. What is your responsibility and what is your authority? Right? So when you want to brand yourself, try to understand, what is my responsibility? I am the brother of two twins, okay, I'm safe. Or I am the dean of faculty and I have 100 professors, that's my responsibility. Or I'm the dean, or I'm a professor and I have to teach 40 students and I have to make sure they pass their exam and become good human beings. Responsibility. Next, who am I? What is your authority? One is first, who am I for yourself? This is for the others, so that they can judge you. What is my authority? What are my parameters within which I can function? Do I have any authority at all?
Economist, presenter.
Say that again.
Economist, presenter, I'm not sure about others.
Is that your authority?
You said yours.
Mine?
So, yeah.
Mine?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I won't answer this question because you don't get confused if I answer. I'm very deep for all of this stuff. I would say I have no authority. Let's start from there. You know, I'm a very inclusive kind of person. So I would actually answer this question differently, and I don't want you to answer it like me. I would simply say, I have no authority. Let's start from there. I have to start with everybody being equal. If I'm going to tell you to be equal to me, then I have to start with equality myself first. If I don't say I'm equal to you, how can I expect an equality from you? So I would answer this differently. But I would like you all to think of your authority. Okay? It's not a very good word, but it's an important word. You've got to know your power base. So your responsibility and your authority is what is going to influence your brand. Nothing came. I had a little thing in the middle here which said, your brand. So it didn't come. Never mind. So the ability to judge will also depend after you know yourself, who you are. So the message that you're giving, this is for the others. What is your responsibility and what is your authority and how are you able to build your leadership brand based on that? So what is the sign of a successful brand? You can see some things I've marked in red because I think they're important. Stakeholders will perceive you as a leader. You know, once I went to an ashram in Bangalore, there's a very, I'm not a big follower of any gurus, but I went because I had these Americans with me who wanted to meet the guru. So his name is Sri Ravi Shankar. I don't know if they have art of living here, but you know, before, while all my American guests were sitting, he gave us a private audience, and I asked him, because there was a whole lot of, you know, prayers going on outside and temple bells and thousands of people. So I asked him, you know, I'm known to ask very difficult questions. So I asked him, I said, tell me something. I said in Hindi, of course, very respectfully. I said, why are you the guru? Why am I not the guru? What is it about you that I don't have? And he made a very profound answer. He said to me, I am the leader because these people outside think that I am the leader. I think it's a very profound answer. If they think you're the leader, then you're the leader. If they think you're the guru, then you're the guru. I'm on branding. Right? So, stakeholders have to perceive you as a leader. I can't get up and say I'm a global leader until I have 40,000 followers on LinkedIn. I can't say it. I can't say I'm a global business leader until I'm an independent director on corporate boards. I can't say it. I can't say I'm an influencer until my book sells as a bestseller on Amazon. Only then I can say I'm perceived as a leader. Leadership is not what somebody is going to put on you and say, "Are you a leader today?" Those leaders we don't want. Right? Those leaders are old-fashioned, old that, okay, this is your chair, and if you sit on it, you become a leader. You know those, I'm the president, I'm the PM, I'm the prime minister. Okay, those leaders are finished. It's all over. The influencer is now the leader. So how are you perceived as a leader if you have followers? It's very important in this day and time to have followers. Now, can the users really understand what you're saying? To be able to brand yourself, you need to be able to get people to understand what you're saying. So when I'm looking at all of you, I'm thinking, okay, are they really understanding what I'm saying? Are you?
Yes.
Is anybody understanding? Or 10%, 20%, 30%? Is anybody understanding what I'm saying? Yes? Okay, no problem. Even if you're not understanding, it's okay. I really don't have a problem either way. But it's important data for me. Is anybody understanding? Just a data, for me, it's just a data shot. So users can comprehend your critical skills. Now, you can get people's attention, right? So when you're a leader, how many people in the audience are talking amongst themselves? Is anybody really paying attention? Can I get everybody's attention? That's a leader. You've got to have people's attention. That's a brand. People must be thinking, okay, she's posted this today. I wonder what she's going to say on LinkedIn tomorrow. Or I'm going to her web mentoring session today. I wonder what she'll say tomorrow. And this is really important to me. You truly look bigger than yourself. I always start with I'm nobody. Let's start from there. You're always bigger than yourself. You can't be bigger than yourself if you say I'm X, Y, Z all the time. Because then you'll fall into a bucket of your own making. I don't want to fall into a bucket that I have made for myself. I'll say I'm nobody. Let's start from there. Or if you want to know who I am, please go to Google. 25 pages will open on their own. I don't have to brand myself. Because you must be bigger than yourself. So what is the bigger than myself? The leadership, the women in leadership, the mission that I'm trying to do, balanced leadership, ESG, SDGs, gender equality. The mission is bigger than what I am. That's what the brand should be. Like Nike's, just do it. That's bigger than Nike. The whole thing of just do it is a lot bigger than Nike, the brand. Do you know any other such brands where the perception of the mission is larger than the brand? What's their vision? What is the mission?
I'm not sure, I forgot. But the word that's known in most languages is Coca-Cola.
Yes, I know, but I'm saying that the brand has to be bigger than the name of the product, right? What I'm leading, the mission for women in leadership, has to be bigger than me. That's when a brand works. Is there any brand that is bigger, where they have the vision which is bigger than the brand? I think Nike has it. So there will be others, and most companies these days are trying to sell a mission. Because nowadays community appeal is very important. If you don't appeal to everybody in the community, are you finished? If you don't appeal to everybody in the community, then the brand is very short and very small, and it's a very short life. So you have to find more brands that have a bigger mission. I think, for example, Body Shop, they'll say no animal testing. Okay, that's a mission. They want to appeal to everybody who doesn't want to do animal testing. So it becomes bigger than the product. You go for the brand because they have a community appeal. And you have a brand like that has community appeal, and they do these things. Almost every brand these days will have something written on it because it's community appeal. Yes, madam?
for example, the Lions Club have this
Lions Club,
Lions
yeah.
Clubs and Leo Clubs. We have the saying, and we say we serve.
We serve. Thank you. So they want the we serve to appeal to the whole community, please.
We were discussing about McDonald's and their slogan, "I'm loving this." We're trying to figure out can that like appeal to can that be larger than their whole brand?
What is their line?
It's their food basically. I'm loving it.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that applies to everyone.
Yeah.
What is your thinking? I'm loving it.
Well,
Do I care about I'm loving it? I don't. I don't know about the rest of you.
Yeah.
I'm not loving anything. I just want to get on with my job. But I'm loving it will appeal to you. Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z. Which Gen are you? Y, X, Z, millennial?
Z.
G?
Z.
Z. Okay, so you're in your 30s, 25 to 35. Which one are you?
Twins.
Huh?
Twins.
Okay, so you're even below Gen Z. They have to be born after 1990.
Yeah, in
You're born in
2000. It's 95 till 2010.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely correct.
So which gen?
The generations.
Yeah. You see how easily you put yourself into the brand of a gen bucket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How easily you do it. Is that when obviously you identify with a brand that says you're Gen X, Gen Y, or Gen Z. That's your brand. You identify it with it faster than you identify yourself as a student of this faculty of management.
Yeah.
It's your choice. Okay, but be very clear. Once you make a choice of your brand, you have to stick with it. It's very important. All right, now, so it must have community appeal. You don't have to be, but it's good to be ethical, innovative. And so I've written here Rolls-Royce because, the WILL Forum branding globally to me is like the Rolls-Royce. We don't want to take any shortcuts. I want to be the gold standard. Okay, I don't want to be any of these Toyotas, City Hondas. I don't want. I want to be the absolute gold standard in women in leadership. So I will stick with a brand like Rolls-Royce and I want to be just like that. Now, it doesn't have mass appeal. It has a very small consumer base. But those are the people we want. We want the people who will come to us for the right reason. We don't want mass appeal. I'm just saying how I build the brand of the WILL Forum. Only those who are really interested, please come to us. Otherwise, we don't want. So you have to create an appetite for a Rolls-Royce because it's expensive, it's the gold standard. All right, so whatever you say about a brand, perception, judgment, ethics, at the end of the day, you've got to perform. If you're not performing, you're not making any money, we're in business, right? I'm in a business faculty right now, so I'm talking to business students. So if you do not consistently deliver on your performance, your brand won't shine. It's not going to be possible. Because at the end of the day, the business of business is business. That's the way it goes. Nobody's here to do any charity. So performance will always be the key to branding. Nobody will come to me at the WILL Forum if I'm not making good money. If I'm not putting out good value and I'm not putting out good money, my brand will be zero. Everybody likes to rub shoulders with very successful people. So you must be able to perform, you must be able to show the difference in your product, or your service, or your brand. And that difference in the product is called innovation. What is really the difference between two products? Why is one product better than the other? Because they innovated. iPhones, constantly innovated, constantly. So they're making all the money in the market because they're innovating. They're bringing a different product every time. It may not be ethical, but ethics is not part of branding for many companies. So you have to always present new ideas and you have to make sure that you make not necessarily money, but you perform in the market. You can't sell something for a brand and then find that consumers have to come and return it the next day. Does that help you a little bit on performance is the key? All right. So after we come to perception and the reality and performance, then is your image of the brand, of yourself, of your leadership style, of the product. What is your image? All right, so I have given, for example, 3-4 research reports that I have written. Okay, the report is on remaining on the ramp, balanced leadership, women in enterprise risk management, balanced boards for good governance. This is my image. This is what I want my image to be. Judge me by the reports I'm writing, or judge me by the books I'm writing. And these are not books for just academic, these are books for the mission. So, what is your image? How are you going to sell your image? I want to sell my image according to my knowledge, my insights, my ideas. Your reputation is very important for your image. You see, Will reports. It's my brand. Because there are so many people doing women in leadership, but nobody has written 15 research reports and a book. So my brand is higher than all of them. I always say, how many push-ups are you going to do? 10? Okay, I'll do 30, then you please compete with me. We can't even do one push-up, forget about 30 or 10. You see what I'm saying? Your brand should be something that you can uniquely do. How many push-ups can you all do? No? Yes? One? You have to do well at least 10, minimum. If you can do one, you can do 10. I'm just trying to tell you, if you can do one, you can do 10. Because what it takes to do one, the same technique you can do 10. You just got to get the technique right. Alright, so that was not a good example for push-ups. Maybe there's some other example I can choose. I'm so sorry, that's the only example I could find. So, after you come to a certain level, only then I will compete with you. That's the branding. You don't have to compete with everybody. How is your communication? Written, verbal, how? Attend to it. And the body language is so important. You know, some people will come across to you as great leaders, but on the internet, or when you actually meet them, they have no aura, they have no energy, they don't inspire you, they don't motivate you, and you say, okay, I'll just see you on the virtual, don't bother, come next time. It's that very important body language. The body language should not be arrogant, it should not be dismissive, it should not be too inclusive also. You have to maintain your distance, especially as women. You have to make sure nobody can say anything to you, keep your distance. There are many women who don't. And then it's their choice. I'm not making any judgment, I'm saying it's their choice. The body language is very important. It has nothing to do with how you dress. It's your body language. Okay. Communication and social media. How many of you are on Twitter? Oh, good. Very nice. That's great. At least 4 or 5 people. Better than 0. It's better than 0. Pretty good. All right, and I'm not asking Facebook because I don't think it's a professional platform. So what about LinkedIn? How many of you? Okay, so let's say 10%. There are others who think they are on LinkedIn but they don't know. Is that what you're saying? Offhand?
I have an account, but I do not use it.
Because? You don't use it because?
I still do not need it, but I will need it in the future.
No, but you don't use it because. It's a question.
Older people are using Twitter. I see a lot of political accreditation.
What would you like to say?
Because I see Twitter using older people, as I see.
Older people?
Not old, nobody is old, but mature people, yes.
Mature
50,
people. Okay, I
60,
understand.
50, 60 years
You mean the
old.
kids are not using Twitter?
As I see, I don't know.
Okay, so what are you using is my question on the social platform. Are you using Instagram? What are you
Yeah,
using?
because the Instagram is more popular.
Instagram?
It's more popular at least on
No,
the side of
my
people.
question is, are you using Instagram? My
Yes.
question is not what's popular. Are you using it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. So you keep posting pictures. I will see today how many pictures you post of this meeting.
No, I don't post.
You have an Instagram account but you don't post.
No, just
Will you
talk.
see what other people do?
No, just texting.
I'm sorry?
Just texting.
Just act.
Texting. Text message.
Chatting or texting?
Yeah.
You don't need Instagram to text. You can do SMS or WhatsApp. Why do you need Instagram to text?
Again, because everybody uses it.
Okay. Did you have something to say?
TikTok, yeah.
No, we were considering things which are distractions. We are in business, okay? We're in the faculty of management, and it's written so big here that I can't forget it.
A lot of businesses, employees.
Now, my question is, which social media are you on? That's my question. You're on TikTok? What do you do on TikTok? What do you do on TikTok?
I'm promoting my small business.
You're promoting your business on TikTok. So you put up reels on TikTok?
Yeah.
Does somebody buy because of that?
Yeah.
What business do you do?
I do mostly like jewelry,
Jewelry.
mugs, pillows, sometimes.
And people give you orders on TikTok?
You can like attract more people to go to your
But then do they go and pay money on your website? Good. Yes, please.
I think
Do you need a mic?
I think it matters like which target group are you choosing.
Yes.
Because her business, like she started in younger people.
Yes.
So younger people won't check LinkedIn or Twitter.
Young people won't
Check.
on Twitter.
No, they won't like she cannot
I
target
understand what
them.
she's saying. What are you saying?
For me,
Yes. What do you use?
I mean I mostly TikTok.
What do you do on
but
TikTok? It has nothing to do with management.
it has to do.
It's a waste of time.
There is
Depends on how you do
What
it.
is the
Waste of
management in
time.
TikTok?
No, it's not like there. The people who don't use TikTok will say that it's a waste of time, but
I'm not saying it's a waste of time.
Well, I use-
he said. I'm
Management.
sorry, he said. Yeah.
Has to do with management a lot? Okay, let's give him a moment to explain what TikTok has to do with management. Please tell us.
Well, first, it has a lot to do with management because like short format videos have a spiking trend.
Yes.
We can
Okay,
all
I-
our attention
I
spans
agree.
are really short.
Mhm.
And short-term videos have a huge potential for every business. That's why where TikTok evolutionized the media. We have short
Okay,
format
but can you
videos.
translate it into money?
Yes, you can.
Management and
Yes, you
business
can.
has to
Because
be
you link,
translated into money.
you incorporate your products in those short-term format video trends.
All right.
So it's based on your product placement in the video.
I have to worry about whether I can write TikTok on the side next time. I'm not sure the kind of audiences I present to. I'm not so sure if I can write. When I feel comfortable, I might write TikTok on the side. But if you do not do social platforming for your own branding, then you are nobody in this day and time. And when you get into the metaverse, as you know, you can buy things. I hope you're saving money to buy on metaverse and making Mark Zuckerberg even more rich. Okay, so this is my pie model for branding. Your image is important, your performance is important, and your global exposure is important. By exposure, I mean your platform, your social media. This is your brand. In short. So just remember the closing lines. Global branding is intentional. Nobody's going to do it for you, you have to do it yourself. All of those things that I told you, you have to put into your branding. It's a strategy, you can't do it without a strategy. Because this is a management faculty, I'm giving you things on how to brand. It's a requirement for leadership positions. If you do not have a brand, you really cannot be a leader because people don't know what to say about you. Like I said, half the things before you can speak, they will make a perception about it. It's 80% mental and something that all products and cultures must have. And so, these are my closing comments. Whatever your brand is, please align it with your personal values. You cannot pretend to be anybody else. Sooner or later, people will understand that she is not authentic and that you're actually trying to pretend to be somebody who you're not. So please align it with your values. Be proud of your reputation. Invest in yourself and be the best and breathe. So you see how I brand myself? I put my photo right in front of you. You have to be sharp and you have to be come with a lot of conviction. And you say, okay, I'm going to put my photo. You want to think I'm arrogant? Okay. You think I'm trying to be egotistical? Okay, it makes no difference to me. I have to sell the brand in whichever way I want. Right? I'm just trying to say that I will put my photo and I will say, that's my brand. Visible, courageous, conviction, accomplishment, it's got to show. You can't say I have all that and then not put your picture. You have to put it with all of these things at the bottom. I hope many of you will make your slides like this. Yes? No? I doubt very much. Whether you will. It takes a lot to put a slide like this for yourself, especially for women, because we will be put into the gutter very soon. It's your choice. Do it or don't do it. But if you do it, you have to take what comes with it. And if you don't do it, you have to take the penalty for being invisible. Thank you very much for your time.